Hey guys, it's Jack, and today we're doing a film analysis. This is actually a review of some of my film from 6 months ago during PPA San Clemente, the run that I made with Julian. And in this, we played the semifinals against Hayden Patrickin and Pablo Tellez, and there were a lot of good takeaways. I'm only gonna focus on 8 or 9 key points and then break those down for a few minutes. So let's get into it. So starting out with this first dink rally, I want to showcase why you always need to shade with your partner, and even at the pro level, we still aren't perfect, though we try to be. So basically, I get pulled out wide by Pablo's inside out forehand. He is a really good one, and so I take it off the bounce. I try to pull it back to him, but notice how he's set. As you can see right here, he's fully bent, looking to speed this ball up. And so I'm pulled off the line. You can see the distance I have between the line. Even though this could be seen as an offensive shot right here, I'm still way off the line. And notice how far to the sideline I am. And because of Pablo pulling me wide right here, therefore now he's allowed to get real low and he's looking to speed that ball up. And the ball is still in the air. The ball is only right here, and he gets low. Obviously, I don't have enough time. I'm still recovering right here, as you can see. And he just flicks it. Julian can't open in time because Julian's job is to sit backhand. As you can see right here, Julian is supposed to cover his body and line, which he did fine. It's my fault that I set this ball up. And you can see I still can't close middle. I'm in the middle of my box. I should have slid a little bit more or just got this dink to hit the floor rather than it floating up and Pablo taking this ball out of the air. That's a simple example of me just not covering middle. That's an error that I typically, as a lefty, it's a lot easier to cover middle, but I still wasn't able to get there in time and he caught me off guard. Now with this next point right here, I really want to showcase the importance of taking balls out of the air or looking like you're going to take balls out of the air really hesitates your opponent. So H gets to this short ball, and look at me. I go from standing straight up like this to actually leaning in. You'll see my paddle move in. I'm trying to take this ball out of the air, as you can see. Yep, leaning in. And because of that, Pablo's anticipating me to take this ball out of the air. So he's actually coming in, trying to be aggressive, anticipating me to take this ball out of the air. And I actually didn't. So now his timing is all messed up. You can see his feet are completely split. And then as soon as I let this ball bounce right here, I send it back over to him. But because his timing is messed up, I am able to just hit a simple dink and he gets mistimed right there. Now this next point, I made a mistake, and in this hands battle, you can see that I took way too big of a backswing right there. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but look, I noticed that H is leaning in. H is leaning in right here, and I'm anticipating the speed up, but he hits it in a good spot. I get the first counter back. It's as soon as I hit my forehand. So let's go to it. Hits a good one. He jams me. I push it back. This next one right here, look at my backswing. I swing and look at how big this backswing is right here. This is a humongous backswing in a hands battle. And you could see as soon as H connects with the ball, I am still swinging down. I'm still not set fully. And as soon as your opponent hits their ball, you should be fully set and now ready to anticipate the next ball. I'm still, if you look at me, when H makes contact with this ball, I'm ready now. Now I'm ready. And the ball is already almost back at my side of the net. So I completely mistimed this, or I was late to this because I took too big of a swing. So as you can see, a huge swing. I'm still set, and now I'm finally set. And because of that, I get jammed. Notice my paddle's also a little too low, and then I hit it way too long. That's an easy point. You can see I definitely realized that I was a little confused, or that I was a little lost right here. Now with this rally here, I want to showcase the advantage or the shift in advantage after Julian's volley dink at the kitchen line. So H pops it up, I lean in, and right here, Julian's hitting nothing but slice dinks. And he realizes that H is putting topspin on these dinks. You can see H right here, he's planting with both feet set and swinging on top of it. And because of that, that's going to add topspin on the ball. You can see he flicks up like that. That's going to be a heavy topspin dink. Julian then takes this next ball out of the air, and this is when the advantage shifts. So Julian's slice to H's topspin H's topspin is actually going to beat him 6 or 7 out of 10 times. Just no matter who it is, the topspin is always going to win. But as Julian takes this volley out of the air right here, it screws up H's topspin. So as soon as he hits that, now H does not have enough time to get this. He does not have enough time to set his feet. Notice how middle he is. He's still being aggressive as Julian. Julian hit a simple cross-court volley dink, and now look at how stretched out his H is. His feet are not under him, and because of that, he hits this slice dink back, and now it floats a little over the net, and Julian is ready to speed that up. Julian can hit any shot off of this backhand speed up, and he gets it right past Pablo's left shoulder, which is a common spot on lefties, and it actually goes in. Now I think this point right here is a great example of finding somebody's weak point on a counter. So whenever somebody like Hayden has a very Eastern grip, which means that it's pretty forehand extreme, then it's very tough to get the ball down on their backhand side. On counters and stuff, they can scorpion and get low because their forehand is so aggressive. But on their backhand side, sometimes it's just very tough for them to get down because their grip is so forehand oriented. So right here is me spotting that. I speed this ball up. Pablo hits a roll dink. It pops up a little bit, and so I speed this ball up. H is not ready for it. You'll see H hits this ball as a backhand, and he does that just because I'm speeding up off of his backhand wing, so he's going to sit there. And you can see because of that, it's a little high. He has to jump. He's actually off the ground right now. And he hits it, can't get down on it because of that. And therefore, it comes back right to Julian's sweet spot, and he puts that ball away. So this point right here is super quick, but I want to show the importance of clogging middle if you're the person hitting cross-court dinks. So for example, I'm dinking cross-court with Pablo right here. So you can see I hit a cross-court ball to Pablo. It's a little high. Pablo's obviously holding two-y. He has his feet planted, so he's most likely going to speed up. As soon as I recognize that I hit that high ball, look at the way my feet move to clog middle right here. Slide. You see that slide? I have 1 foot over the tee, which is actually something that I recommend. I know it's not even cheating, it's just anticipating. So, and then obviously he speeds up. Both Julian and I are on it. Julian gets to it first, but I'm watching him, as you can see. He gets this ball back, and notice how I'm still middle. There's no reason for me to go back to the middle of my box. Instead, I'm in the middle of the court because this hands battle is mostly funneled towards this area. So I should also be funneled towards this area because this is where most of the hands battles are going to be. And so I'm clogging middle, and because of me clogging middle right here, I get this ball, and I'm able to go behind H. Notice our positioning. Both H and I's positioning is basically identical. He's a little far over, and he actually gets burnt because of it. So I get this ball behind H, and as you can see, he's fully extended, and get a point because of that. Now this next one's super easy. Julian's trying to get in a rhythm with his drives, and I take advantage with a poach. He misses his first ball, hits a 5th drive because he sees that Pablo is clogging middle right here. So you can see he hits his drop a little high. He notices that Pablo is so far middle that he's actually going to aim down this line. Now keep in mind that's the highest part of the net, and Pablo could have been baiting him right here, expecting to close, but Julian hits such a good ball right here that Pablo is still lunging. As you can see, Pablo is still lunging towards this line. He actually didn't move. And you know what I do is I see that, and you'll see me slide right here. As soon as he hits this ball, as soon as Pablo hits this ball, I read it, and the first thing I do is come crashing here. Crash, and put that ball away down. And so I jumped right here. The only reason I jumped was because it was a little too high for my strike zone. But one thing to note is when I take this poach, notice how my paddle never goes behind me. My paddle is always to the side of me. To the side, to the side, to the side. And the only reason my paddle is behind me right here is because of my wrist, which is fine. As long as your arm is not behind you, then that is a very good trait to have while poaching. And so I get all of this power just off of my weight transfer and jumping in the air, you can see I transfer my legs are obviously turning and rotating to give me that strength. And then I'm able to put this ball away down. So this next point right here is actually pretty unique. Julian tries to blitz the kitchen, and when you are blitzing the kitchen or anticipating a very quick hands exchange, one of the best ways to increase your odds of winning that hands battle is actually by sliding middle with your backhand, assuming you're on the left side. So notice how Julian hits this drive. Julian right here is going to hit this drive cross, and the first thing he does is look at his positioning shift. He hits this drive with a forehand because his forehand's better off of a drive, and then the first thing he does is slide middle because he's just going to backhand every single one of these next balls. Notice the ball comes cross body, but he's still going to slide and take this as a backhand. Check this out. Backhand. Notice how he jumps. He doesn't jump into it, he slides into this ball. Keep in mind, backhand counters in front of you not only remove time away from your opponents, but they also give you a little bit more power because it's like a punch rather than a slap. And so you'll see right here, he hits a great ball and counters that. And now, as soon as the ball actually goes cross, this is when he decides to open and hit his forehand as a winner right here. Right here, that's when he does. But you'll see he basically treats this, he goes forehand and then immediately slides backhand, backhand, and now forehand to put the ball away. Because keep in mind, in a lot of these hands exchanges, you're not going to have time to actually see the ball and decide forehand or backhand. You're just going to want to slide backhand because you can cover a little bit more. And then once the ball's crossed or once you're actually reading the ball well, maybe it's a little bit slower, then that's when it's easier to open and hit your forehand counter. Now, so this last point, I want to showcase how the paddles in this hands exchange never go behind us. They never leave our peripheral. So this is something that I actually teach a lot of my clients when we're doing hands battles and they want to increase their hand speed. But you'll see H right here and I'm about to come up to the net and we're about to have a hands exchange. And one thing when I want you guys to watch this to notice is that the paddle never leaves our sight. The paddles never go behind us. They're always in front of us or to the side. So granted I lost that exchange, one thing to take away is just how there are no backswings. So I take this poach and look at me, the paddle is not behind me any point in this encounter. Paddle's still ahead, paddle's still ahead. I'm sliding, which is completely fine, it's normal. The paddle's still in front of me. Now look at H, the ball is still in front of him, his paddle's still in front of him. And now look at me, paddle still in front, that's just my wrist. Him, paddle still in front, maybe his arms to the side, that's completely fine. But notice how little his backswing is. And so now it's on to me, I slide and I pop this ball up right here. This gives him the advantage, hits it down, and now obviously I'm a little late to this one, and now he finally hits it down. The one time he hits he has a backswing is when the ball is coming up and he has time. When he has time to hit a backswing, you'll see now he rotates his body. You see, rotates because he has time and then puts his ball away. So I know I covered a lot in this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure if you guys have any questions to put your comments down below. Make sure to subscribe, and as always, I'll see y'all next week.